once you are ready to start programming for the obstacle course with your robot, you need to have a new program open, and you also need to have your diagram open because you will use them together. So first thing I want to do is type in my first and last initial and the word course after it. So it's just TB course. It would be your first initial, your last initial, and the word course, and hit go. Now I'm ready to start. Now I'm going to have dual screens open so you can see how both things would work together. Now, looking over here, it says my first thing is a touch sensor. So the first thing I need to do is go grab the sensor. So under the wait for block, I'm going to find the touch sensor and drag it up here. Then my second block is going to be a move block using degrees. So I'm going to grab a move block and I'm going to change it to degrees. And then the next thing is going to be a point turn, which is number 3. So I need to grab this. All right. So when I'm looking at my touch sensor, I need to make sure that it's in the right port to activate. And I find it works best if it says bumped. Now, if you don't have the touch sensor, you would just use whichever sensor you have. Now, I'm using degrees. Now, here, this is just by trial and error. 360 degrees is one rotation of the axle. That is definitely not going to be enough. You may want to see how far it moves to see how many degrees you need to go the length of the course straightaway that you're going, and change it appropriate to what is needed. The next thing is going to be a point turn. Now, if you don't remember how to do a point turn, you can go over to the common palette and look at point turn. Find the programming guide. Now I've already got the block there, so how am I going to program it? I'm either going to turn to the C side or the B side, so it's either a right-hand turn or a left-hand turn. So let's just say I have to make a right-hand turn. I'm going to drag that all the way over. It tells me to change it to degrees. It tells me to put 180 in, and I should be at 50% power. Now, I have all 3 of these things done. So what I would do now is download it and test it. When I know that works properly, grade yourself by marking off what you have done, bring it to the teacher to have them look at it, and then you are able to move on to straightaway 2. So after I go to straightaway 2, I look at what I have. Here it tells me that my ultrasonic sensor goes in 4th position, which is distance. And then I'm going to use another move block, and it's going to be set up for seconds. So I'm going to change that to seconds, and then I'm going to do a point turn. I'm going to grab another block and make it a point turn like it's showing me right here on the screen. And this time I need to turn to the left. Degrees, 180, and 50% power. Now, I would test that in position, and once I get it right, I would bring it up to the teacher. You do that for all 4 straightaways. One side note is, remember, if your turn doesn't do 90 degrees, if it's turning over 90 degrees, you need to take some degrees out. I say general rule of thumb is to take anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees at a time. If it's not turning enough, I would add degrees to it. So if I'm going to add degrees to it, it would again be in groups of 10 or 20. If you have any questions, keep referring back to this video. If you still have questions, ask a friend, and then you can ask the teacher.